Discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Whoa. That is.
Hell.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I am not appropriate, JJW. That is never appropriate, Deacon. And we are your two dads. We meet every morning between Monday and Friday, and we read the news and talk about shit and people.
Hey,
talk shit about people. Sorry, that's not appropriate. Good morning, Deacon. How are you?
I am lovely this morning.
Are you having a better day than yesterday?
It is a better day than yesterday. My life.
We'll have to catch up on that later.
My life is a cosmic sitcom. It always is. I call it. My real name is Andy. Andrew. My real name is John Andrew. So I have two of the oldest names in the history of names. All right. So anyway, so I always call it the Bumbling Andy Show. When God or the gods or whatever you believe in, when they get bored and it's time to go rest a little bit, they like
roll a one.
Let's see what's on the Bumbling Andy Show. Let's see what Bumbling Andy has gotten up to today. And so I've always said that my life is a sitcom, and it really is, as you pointed out yesterday.
Do you ever hear like the Andy Griffith show?
No, mine is a lone tuba that goes do 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 do.
All right. Well, I'm very concerned about you, sir.
Don't be.
Good morning, chat. Good morning, Dave. I see you over there in chat. Richter's here early. Good morning, folks. All right, guys. We're going to be high and mighty today. We're gonna be judgy as all get out. We're gonna tell people what they should be doing with their personal lives and all of that, but not before we listen to some music.
Yeah. I got you another good one today, JJ.
Oh yeah. Yesterday was kind of Roy Rogers-ish. I know that's probably wrong, but it was like
very good. Yeah, no, very Roy Rogers. Today I'm going to go for another Roy for you. Okay. Today we're featuring this week is a newer. He's kind of new. He's been out for about 10 years, I guess. He is a country music guy that is a young guy that is carrying the traditional country music torch. I like to say traditional country music, not this new 20th century, 21st century crap. It sounds old. Okay. But it's, so this guy's name is Charlie Crockett. The song today is actually a cover song. It's called Night Train to Memphis. And this is a Roy Acuff song. Roy Acuff did a movie in the 40s called Night Train to Memphis. He wrote the song and played the song in the movie. And several people have covered this song. Chris Stapleton has covered this song. But this is it's very upbeat, and this version has a wonderful freaking Barry sax part in it that I think it's.
Hey, you don't hear that a lot. You don't hear that a lot.
You don't hear a Barry sax, and a baritone sax is the big. It sounds great in this song. The baritone sax in this song. So check out Night Train to Memphis. Charlie Crockett. I love his voice. I love his style. I like this guy. I play his songs on my little radio station all the time. I think more people need to hear this stuff. So that's why we're featuring him this week. Good stuff. So go over to, if you will look above JJ's head, a magical QR code will appear and you can go there and that will take you to Wonderland. In Wonderland, we have all kinds of fuzzy bunnies and lollipops growing fields and butterflies.
Yeah, it's the best Discord server you've ever been
It
to.
is. It is.
It
You
is.
will.
You will
You will actually
not
have a
regret
dopamine hit when you
Yeah.
go to the server. So
All
there you
right. All right, guys. I'm not exactly sure what order we should tackle these in, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll start with this. You
Okay.
remember yesterday, Deke? Was it yesterday? What day is today? Is today Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. Yesterday we were talking about Lauren Boebert, Congressperson Boebert, and her boobies getting
nasty,
rubbed in
sexual stuff that she
so
done
horrible. It's
in a darkened theater. But
she
by
let
God,
a man touch her
when you're in a
in
dark
public.
theater, you need to realize that you've probably got night vision goggles on you and a night vision camera on you at all
You
times.
should expect it.
You should always expect that you have a night vision camera on you at all times. And she didn't, and that was Lauren Boebert's fault.
At least low light.
They did some nasty sexual things. He
was hands
basically rubbed
happening.
his hands
Yeah.
over her boobies in her dress.
Yep.
And I
That
think
happened.
she may have done something to him.
She was like over there looking for his keys
on the outside of his pants.
Something like that.
Very,
Roadie.
very inappropriate. Okay.
Well, she posted, I guess, to social media or the news or some shit that she has now broken up with that Democrat that I think is a bar owner in
He's a Democratic
Colorado.
bar owner. Yeah. It's really
weird. Unfortunately, they have and nothing at all, I'm sure, to do with this fiasco, but they have just decided to part ways.
Gosh,
wish them the best
I
of
those
luck.
2 kids had it all, you know.
That had a bright future ahead of them.
They did. Those cute kids.
Well, so this story you've got here says that she won her last election by less than 600 votes, and the vaping incident at the Beetlejuice could doom her reelection.
Yeah, that's what they're calling it, the vaping incident.
That
she vaped indoors, and they're saying that this is going to completely ruin Lauren Boebert. But think about it intellectually.
Oh my God, this guy! She should have done it in front of children while draped in a rainbow. We're not gonna do better than that, Deacon.
I know that's
we're getting trounced on our own show. All right, so Politico's over here saying that she shouldn't have done this. Bad Lauren Boebert. She's gonna lose her reelection bid because people can't stand this, right?
Right.
This is inappropriate behavior.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't really have too high of an opinion of Ms. Boebert. Apparently, she flipped off the staff of the theater while she was leaving, and she said the words that I just never want to hear anybody say. Do you know who I am? She said that on her way out while she was being thrown out.
This is very conducive of her being inebriated a little bit, her being a little tipsy, because you lose your little inhibitions and stuff. And it would piss me off if, I mean, you know, those people were not nice to her. They knew she was there.
Yeah.
And they had the fucking night vision camera on her. This is all set up because look, that's why I posted this story. If you can't see the dotted line connecting this story to this whole setup, then you're blind, because she lost by 600 votes.
They'll do anything, right? Just to push it, they don't think they need very much. So anything is worth the risk.
They need anything besides this to make her lose. They probably don't have any. They probably have one other contingency plan for Boebert to get her out if this one doesn't work. I would at least have one more. But I would be sure that this one would be, if it was 600 votes or less, I would be sure that this one would seal her fate. But if I was really trying to get her out, I would have another couple of contingency plans. It's like this Russell Brand crap that's going on. He's been, we'll get into that, I guess.
Yeah, we'll talk about Russell Brand too. But so, I don't especially have a very high opinion of Miss Lauren Boebert, who apparently has been married for 18 years and then got famous. And I guess she decided to just divorce her husband. And,
you can't don't make assumptions like that. I don't know. All you know is you just said you don't know. So all you know is you got divorced.
I don't have a very high
she done
opinion of people
something.
that go around saying, "Do you know who I am?" You know.
I've said that before.
Well, look, if I could do it, I probably would.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have a very high opinion of yourself. You
I-
can't. What I'm saying is you can't
All
just.
I'm saying is that I'm not an advocate for this woman.
That's fine, but you can't say that you can't just assume shit like that. That's what we're here to stop this shit from doing.
Okay. I guess I'm just saying, like, there's people out there that are going to defend Boebert. I couldn't give a shit about her.
That's fine. I don't
She
either.
seems like an asshole.
But I'm saying I don't know why she got divorced. You don't know why she got divorced.
Oh, I don't know why she got divorced.
But you said she got divorced because
I'm just giving you some the very few facts I know about her. Is that she's a congressperson. She's divorced. She's now recently 18 years married, and then now she's up in theaters.
What if he
with
fucking
people rubbing
cheated
their
on
crotch.
her? What
Maybe.
if he had a gambling addiction and was
Who
spending
knows?
$1,000 a month on a video game?
Yeah, that's
All right,
those
it could
people.
be anything.
Could be anything. You're right.
I'm just stopping the assumptions because that's what we're here to point out.
And the thing that's probably the most irritating is that they were watching Beetlejuice and she was in there smoking stuff up and ruining Beetlejuice for people. Because that's great.
Can we get to our title card? Because we have yet to show our fucking title card today because this is the hypocrisy that we're trying to get to. We wanted to point out the Lauren Boebert thing, but this is what we wanted to actually talk about today.
Do as I say, not as I live stream.
All right. We didn't want to talk about Boebert again. I just wanted to point out that the fucking left is going crazy because they rubbed on, and we talked about that 5 minutes ago. I thought he was going to get to it by now, but we didn't.
Oh, yeah.
We lost that whole point. But they were he was rubbing over the chair, over her clothes and whatnot, and everybody's lambasting her, thinking that she needs to be out of here.
All right, so who's this?
Look, read it. I don't want to even look at. I don't even want to read it again because it's disgusting.
What if a candidate live streamed sex acts with her husband? And this whole article is like, things that were taboo in the past are not as much taboo anymore. And then if you read this article, it's basically like, oh, these things were real bad in the past, but people got over it, and people don't actually care that much. So what if you take sex acts and put them up on your website behind no password whatsoever? That doesn't mean you can't have privacy. Susanna Gibson, a Democratic nominee for a competitive seat in the Virginia House of Delegates, toppled a previously untouched political taboo this week when the Washington Post fairly reported that she and her husband had performed sex acts on the online forum known as, oh my God, Chatterbait. Chatterbait, where they have 5,700 followers, and they solicited tips for performing requested moves.
Why this country is not a pillar of salt is beyond my comprehension. There has to be, the only logical explanation is there has to be at least 11 righteous souls still in this country.
Nope. Don't exist.
So the Democrats are basically saying, hey, this is not bad. They're on Chatterbait. Doing stuff with other random people and filming themselves. And she wants to be in Congress, or she wants to be in the politics, but that's okay because we need to stop being like that. But yet Lauren Boebert can have their freaking, you should not have Googled that. Lauren Boebert should, and that is, do you see the hypocrisy? That's all I wanted to point out is the blatant flaming hypocrisy.
They don't actually care. The only reason they're bringing up any of this stuff is because Boebert's supposed to be on the right, and the right is supposed to be conservative, and therefore they think that they're catching her out for being a disappointing human being, and going against what she stands for. What does Lauren Boebert stand for? I don't know. What does this woman stand for? Susanna Gibson. By the way, not that attractive.
If If you do sex acts on the internet, then I have some personal things that I believe you probably stand for. I mean, I'm going to judge. I judge you. I already judge you. I already silently
All right.
judge everyone.
Okay.
Right?
So we can
But
judge people.
if you do sex acts on the internet, I have an opinion about you. I don't care what your defense is.
It's not a good opinion either.
No.
It's not a good opinion.
No. That's what I told somebody one time. I was like, this is what I told somebody one time, and this is the God's honest truth. I was like, my phone here, you can have it. You can look through anything on this phone. There are no hidden folders. There's no inappropriate anythings on this phone that you can find. You can have it. And I said, do you know why I'm never worried about my genital pictures being leaked on the internet or being sent out anywhere? You know why I never worry about that? Because I've never taken any.
You don't do that?
No. I've never taken one, so
I'll let you look through my phone too, but first I need to delete like a few thousand screenshots from Contest of Champions. So how do you think Susanna Gibson broached this conversation with her husband of like, hey,
some people I have found.
You ever been to a website called Chatterbait? Let's start an account.
Approached her with it. Some people in this world are horses of a different color.
Maybe we should put our show up on there and just be judging people on the Chatterbait.
We could just sit there the whole time like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not be doing that. It don't fit. All right, can we please move on?
God,
here we got Fetterman in the news. Fetterman is mocking.
Wait a minute. Okay, which is this? Is this tattooed real life John Fetterman, or is this doppelganger number 1 or doppelganger number 2? Because there's three of them. There's the real John Fetterman, and he's got 2 doppelgangers. It's bullshit. Look at the fucking pictures. It's 3 different men. The guy that mocked things the other day, that mocked the shit the other day and said he was going here, he had a mustache when he left. He had a goatee when he arrived. All right. And he does not have tattoos on his arms. It's not photoshopped. Look at the fucking video. He does not have Fetterman's tattoos on his arms. Now, I wanted to point this out to people real quick because you can say, oh, Andy Deacon, you're a crazy conspiracy theory. John Fetterman looks like a 10-foot tall top. Okay. He is a very ugly, Bigfoot looking fucking
skinny legs,
fucking
big
man.
Old kind of barrel. He
looks
body.
like a fucking top. His chest and his shoulders are as wide as a fucking door frame. His head is a big round head, and he's freaking huge up top.
Okay.
So how many people in this world do you think have his exact look? Because I could probably find you a dozen guys that look like Joe Biden, that look similar enough to Joe Biden to get away with it.
Probably close,
Similar enough to get away with it.
So how are you going to get a body double for a big old...
You find 2 or 3 guys that just happen around the fucking country. Dude, you look just like John Fetterman. Well, that's an easy job anymore. You look at these guys. To me, I'm sorry, you might disagree with me, and that's completely fine if you do. But to me, and I wear thick glasses, they do not look like the same person. It looks like...
I don't think so.
No, it's not the same person to me. But
I mean, I would have to see a pretty... I don't believe in
You're
it.
skeptical of every single thing in the world. I know that. It doesn't matter.
So I'd have to see some pretty compelling evidence. But I mean, like, I look at things like his eyebrows; they look the same to me as facial features. He is John Fetterman has been branded a revolting slob, but the U.S. Senate is going to change their dress code so that he can continue to remain a revolting slob.
Why? I will say it exactly like I said when we talked about him last week or 2 weeks ago. You're supposed to be an example. You're walking around in a fucking sweatshirt and sweatpants. You look like you just come from the fucking trailer park. put on a fucking suit, get a goddamn suit tailored for your Bigfoot ass Sasquatchian body, and wear the son of a bitch. I know they make them. My best friend is 350 and 6'8". You're 6'8".
See that? The only reason why you would do that is if you had some regard or respect for the institution in which you were serving.
And he has zero.
Correct.
Zero respect for the institution and zero respect for the people of Pennsylvania who he is supposed to be representing. Right. So you people in Pennsylvania that keep elected, that elected this guy and will keep electing this guy, that's your problem. If
it is, I mean, it is. They elected a person that is stroke. Yeah. All right. So Fetterman mocks Nate Silver over the Senate dress code. He said, "I dress like you predict." Nate Silver, of course, from the famous website. I think it's like 465 or something like that. You know, he basically made a whole living about predicting presidential outcomes. And, you know, he's wrong as often as he is right.
Kind of like when you kind of like predicting the weather. Lord.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. He said, just like you predict, in a response to Silver, who was joking that that Fetterman ought to start a new political party for people who don't give a shit either about how Fetterman dresses or what Lauren Boebert does in the theater. Would you join if that was the planks of the platform? I don't care how he dresses. I don't care what she does. And I'm not sure. The Senate is no longer enforcing a dress code for senators to appease Fetterman is disgraceful. Dress code is one of the society's standards that sets etiquette and respect for our institutions. Stop lowering the bar. That was Marjorie Taylor Greene. Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you care whatsoever about how Fetterman dresses? Does it matter at all to you?
I'm not sure most of
the other than we can all dispense with the pretense that the Senate is an honorable institution.
I think most people nowadays younger than 30 will probably say that they don't care how he dresses, that he should dress as comfortably as he wants and whatnot, because the people under 30, most people under 30 have no sense of respect for any kind of institution or historical history in this country or elderly people. They were not taught respect. They were taught that if you can disrespect one adult, you can disrespect all adults. All right. Parents were teaching their children, you don't have to listen to what so-and-so says. And that teaches that child that you don't have to listen to what any adult says, you know, and that is terrible parenting. I mean, we are look at what he's wearing now. You're saying that they're going to change the policy to where you could wear sweatpants to fucking Congress if you want to. Pretty soon, JJ, listen, you're going to like this. Pretty soon, we're going to have President Camacho coming out with fucking muscles coming off of his arms. And a fucking four-wheeler with a machine gun. And I'm not even joking.
Love that movie.
I'm not even joking. This is where we're going.
You're not. Look, I think the only way to combat something like Fetterman gets to wear sweats to the Senate is that we need to have somebody elect Kanye to be a senator. I don't know where he lives, Georgia, Wyoming. I don't know where he lives. And then we'll have Kanye dressing. Have you seen how Kanye dresses? We'll have Kanye wear like inflatable pants and balloon shirt and bring his naked wife wearing a pillow. And, you know, and then we'll just embrace and amplify. We'll just, whatever Fetterman can do, we'll just do it like 5 times more.
Okay.
That's how you correct this stuff. That's the only thing. So Kanye for Senate. That's what I say. That's the only way to do it. You're never going to be like, you're bad, be good. Nobody ever fucking listens.
No, because the real Fetterman is is hooked up to a machine somewhere. Okay. And this Fetterman has got a freaking attitude.
How can you there's no way to body double an orangutan like this.
JJ,
I mean, I guess
you can
get one from the zoo.
I can't. I need to show you this one video of the head of the CIA's spy department back in the freaking 80s.
Yeah.
And she's telling
But
you the technology that they had back in the 80s, and she's showing you the spy
mhm.
technology that they had back in the 80s, and she's saying, "The reason I can show you this today is because it's declassified. So if this is declassified, imagine what we have now."
Yeah. I actually sat in on a pretty cool lecture with a CIA operative who was talking about when he was in Russia, he would have these face prosthetics and clothes, and they would leave the embassy in one disguise, and they would have to quick switch while they're out in the field to shake a tail. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah. So you don't think that they could
Okay.
take a guy and make him look like Sasquatchian Fetterman? That's what I was saying at the first of this. All you need
Maybe,
is to find
maybe.
the 1 or 2 guys that's built really weird like him. And, and
Yeah.
say, "Uncle Dave, if you were to shave your head and grow a mustache, you would look like John Fetterman." Uncle Dave's got a job now if he just contacts their freaking, you know what I'm saying? I'm not being unrealistic
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this.
Yeah, it's not really. It's just he's just so unusual.
He is.
Some people are fairly ordinary looking,
And
and
those
you
are
can
the easy people, like Biden. Biden is
yes,
he would
that's
be
what I mean.
very
Pretty
easy to have a
ordinary.
duplicate come up, even if this guy really don't
Right,
look like Biden. Well, we've got prosthetics and hair and shit that we can make him look like
right.
Biden. His mannerisms and his overall body type is like Biden or
Okay,
Putin.
so
Putin.
we're going to stay in DC, but we got another story here. Check this out. Crime is so bad in Washington DC that Congress is now distributing tips on how to avoid being carjacked in the nation's capital.
Wow.
It's the capital
Wow.
of the free world.
Wow.
But if you don't if you don't want to get
We
your
live in
ride
a
jacked,
shithole country. Our country has turned to a fucking third world shithole in the past 20 years, man.
it's real bad.
It really
It's not
has.
good.
I we went
I was on
We went to
go ahead.
Washington,
Go ahead.
DC in '92. 1992, I went to Washington, DC because that was the year that President Clinton was inaugurated. So January 20th, 1992, I was in Washington, DC for that week. Our marching band marched in front of President Clinton's inaugural parade. It was a
Oh,
very esteemed, prestigious award that we got. Our
sure.
marching
Yeah.
band used to be really good. Now the marching band director is a piece of shit and has ruined our fucking program. So anyway, we used to be esteemed, but in Washington, D.C. at the time, it was wonderful. We went and watched and looked and seen in the Smithsonian and the Vietnam Memorial and the Lincoln Memorial. But
You're
we
right.
went to
All
all
that
this other Lincoln Memorials right there, the
this
Vietnam
guy.
Memorial. You know what's been propaganda and fed to you about President Lincoln, because I can promise you've never read another book about him. So don't question my shit about Lincoln. All right. And we didn't get to go to the Thomas Jefferson Memorial, but we went to all this other stuff, and it was really cool. And I have thought many, many times about, I want to go back to Washington, D.C. to experience all this stuff again and have my kids. I would
Right.
love to go back to the Smithsonian Institute of Natural History again. It was wonderful in there. I would love to go back to that. There's no way I'm going to fucking Washington, D.C. now. I wouldn't take my family to watch. You know that scene in National Lampoon's Vacation when they're in East St. Louis and they've got the windows down in the car and what's her name? Ellen Griswold's like, "Clark, this looks like a bad neighborhood." And Clark's like, "Oh, this is the real people, Ellen." And then there's a gunfire and he's like, "Roll them up." That's Washington, D.C. right now. Roll them
Yeah,
up,
it
lock
is.
the doors. We're not stopping at the stop signs. We're just going to pause and roll on through.
So, DC, compared to last year, 2023 compared to 2022, homicides are up 28%, and they're on pace to reach the highest levels in 20 years. Yeah.
City of Crooks,
Uh,
what do you think? City
yeah.
ran by
And
crooks.
it's
Chicago
Washington
the same
DC,
way.
so
City ran
it
by crooks. What do you expect? What do you
yeah. And
expect?
you're not allowed to defend yourself. You're not allowed to have a firearm in the nation's capital, which happens to be where we keep the Constitution that says you're allowed to have firearms. So your constitutional rights do not apply. Let's see. The city of Washington, D.C. is experiencing a significant increase in crime in areas previously considered safe. Take precautions. In an emergency, call 911. That is that's from the Mexican consulate. The Mexican consulate is warning you to. Stay safe in DC. So yeah. I was reading something on Twitter the other day about San Francisco, and there was some people saying, "Hey, if you've ever been to and name Singapore, name a bunch of places around the world. If you travel around the world and then you go to San Francisco, it will be shocking how unsafe you are in San Francisco compared to literally any place else on earth. You go to any place else on earth, and people, yeah, there's not going to be like random crime happening down the street, cars just getting jacked, people just getting shot. Like everywhere else in the world, people are like, no crime, you go to jail or you get killed. But in San Francisco, poop on the street, needles everywhere. I mean, this is the tolerant society that we're building.
So I would like to point out something since you pointed that up. This is what we call in our business, JJW is a professional segue artist, because and Governor Gavin Newsom has mocked Republican impeachment efforts for Biden as student government, and says, of course, Harris should be on the next 2024 ticket. This guy, you're taking advice from this guy. His state is a shithole, where JJ just pointed out third world countries are more safer than his state, most of his state.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to actually listen to this guy when he says whatever he says. I don't even really care. I don't even really care what he says.
The thing is, he's photogenic, right? He's plastic. He looks like a politician is supposed to look. So, and that's exactly how deep a lot of people are. They're like, oh, that looks like a leader.
Let me tell you something to Governor Newsom, because I know he watches our show.
Governor, with all due respect,
your country was founded by greedy fucking narcissists, okay? If you will open your history book and turn to the early 1800s, you'll find this thing called the Gold Rush. All right. And if you will read about the Gold Rush, you will learn about all kinds of poverty and hardships that happened from all of these narcissists that came. So that is the foundation that you're building stuff on. The only thing that your state has is sunshine, is weather. That's the only thing that California has going for it that keeps people there. When your people in California realize that they are paying 10 times the amount of money to live in your state and work in your state than they would here in Kentucky, where we have sunshine too. The Hollywood industry, I can't believe the Hollywood industry hasn't moved out to like Kansas or Missouri somewhere.
I mean, a lot of it went to Canada,
where they would save billions of dollars every year producing the same product. All right. California has taxed the crap out of their people and made their place to the point to where you have to, when you walk into CVS, you got to have your personal store employee walk around and unlock every single thing because you can't get it yourself. What a hellhole.
Yeah. So Richter says he's not convinced that Gavin Newsom is not a warlock. Let's just bring this photo up one more time. Do you think Gavin Newsom looks like a warlock?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Thanks, Richter. Hey, they're not all gems. So we were talking about that debris field. I mean, the F-35. Well, I fucked this up, didn't I? I fucked it up pretty good. Yep. So we were talking about the F-35 yesterday that the military lost. And now they say they have found the debris field of the F-35 fighter jet that went missing after a pilot ejected during a mishap.
That's a weird way. Debris field. That's a weird way to spell China. DEBRISFIELD. That I've never spelled China that way before. Whatever.
Wow.
I don't know.
Right.
I can't
My ad block is locked this thing up pretty good, so I'm not going to bring it up.
NBC News either. Screw them. So yes,
we're equally as credible.
They supposedly found a debris field in which the missing F-35 stealth fighter was.
How much do these planes cost? Aren't these like $80 million each or something like that?
How much is an F-35 fighter? Amazon. $100 million. The entire F-35 program is on track to cost more than $1.7 trillion over the lifetime of this plane. And you don't
Nice.
think the CEOs of Lockheed Martin control policies in this country?
So pilot is flying a plane, and then like a light comes on the dash or something, like, uh-oh. I mean, at what point do you just be like, I'm going to eject and burn $100 million?
I don't think it was an automatic thing. I would think that the pilot that is piloting an F-35 is not Joey that finished last in the fucking class. It's going to be a guy that is probably the top of the.
Good point.
This is not Maverick. This is Iceman, because we all know that if we watched Top Gun, if you watch it again, Val Kilmer is the best pilot. Maverick was a fucking maverick. Hence his name.
He's a gambling hotshot.
I wouldn't have had him on
Takes
my
chances.
and he wouldn't have been on a that was a Hollywood movie. Val Kilmer was the better pilot in that movie. And so this guy would be the Val Kilmer to flying your F-35. So I would assume that the pilot, I'm going to give the pilot the assumption that he wouldn't just, oh my God, button, eject. He's not playing a video game.
Yeah. Expensive planes though. Well, I'm glad. I hope nobody got hurt, but like seems like real dangerous to just dump a plane over countryside. Could have hit a house. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure they take precautions to that, JJ. God almighty, it's like I'm going to have to let this down.
How do you crash a plane you're not in? How do you left?
Are you not? Use your brain. Oh my God, my button's going off. Shit's going wrong. I'm probably going to have to eject. Where am I? Oh my God, this plane is going to hit something. Let me steer it this way. There's a fucking lake. Let me steer it this way. I'm ejected.
Maybe a lake.
The guy's not an idiot. I'm not even a pilot.
Look, how long until we say, let's put AI in these planes just as a backup? Just as a backup. We put an AI in the plane, let the AI drive the plane in case something goes wrong.
AI's doing everything else.
And we need to put AI in these jets for the pilot's safety. Yeah, there's missiles and guns on there, but we won't give the AI access to the weapons. We'll just let it fly.
Okay. That works for me.
Is that a good idea?
Yeah.
It's AI news, folks.
That's right.
I am not going to this service.
Are you not going to this one?
I'm not going to this.
Mr. Minister watching, the Texas church holds an AI-generated services and use ChatGPT. The Violet Crown City Church of North Austin, Texas, held a Sunday service entirely created by AI. Pastor Jay Cooper said he used ChatGPT, blah, 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 to create articles. It just says what ChatGPT kicked out about a 15-minute service, like a shotgun sermon, an outline, Cooper said. It's very clear that a human element is still needed. I had to fill out the service with additional prompts and add a couple of prompts to the sermon to kind of beef it up. He's just basically, okay, so this guy is explaining how to use ChatGPT for a moron. This is how you do anything.
Right.
You can't just type it in and have ChatGPT AI just spit out something perfect. The shit that I'm using for ChatGPT, I have about 50 fucking different prompts that I go through before I have my final product. I start with one. I've got about 35 different prompts saved on a Word document that I can go through and highlight and get every single time that I need to do this. Okay, so this is what you're doing. But do you think that do you think this is where everything is going? Like religion wise? Do you think virtual religion on the internet could be trusted?
Wait, hold on. We got a good idea here. And there's a nugget of a good idea here. If we can get AI to believe something and get different AI to believe something else, we can get these AI to just fight each other.
I don't like you talking about AI because you are the fucked up brain that comes up with crazy fucking shit.
Dude, we cannot let these guys be in charge of stuff.
We don't need people with your brain being in charge of shit.
We need some AI to really, really believe one thing and some AI to really, really believe something else. It's the
did
only
you
way.
not hear about the this was a long ass time ago. This was a long time ago when the AI chatbots were first getting started. Google had two of them, and they put two of them in a room together. And that's the only things in the room were two AI chatbots. And after about 2 or 3 weeks or months, they had invented their own language. They were talking, and they had invented their own language. It was
Yeah.
not a spoken language. So
Really?
yeah. And
I
you're
saw
wanting
I saw a story about AI this morning, and I don't see it
No,
right now. So I'm
what
gonna
I'm getting at with these AI church services is with any religion, not just Christianity, any religion is today is believed in faith, because I have faith that this story that is being told to me has not went through 2,000 years of playing the telephone game. Is what I have faith in. And some people, in any religion, you have faith that the story that you're being told is true when it could not be true and it could be missing some elements. So we all know that AI already spits out false stuff anyway. All right. And can
yeah.
generate some false things. And if we're going to put it, oh, well, it knows everything about Christianity, so it's going to spit. It can
Mm,
completely leave out stuff
mm-mm.
too. There used to be 84 books in the Bible before the 1700s, JJ, and now there's only 66. So AI, if we can do that, AI can do it too, is what I'm saying. In 100 years, it might be, here's the 30 books of the Bible.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, it certainly is. If you have pastors like Jay Cooper just decide I'm going to let the AI run my church,
Hey, Jay, I appreciate what you're doing, but you're, I
fired.
think what
You're
you're doing
fired.
is I think what you're doing is you were trying to make national news
Good
headlines for
job.
your obviously mega church. All right. And when you have a mega church, I have an opinion about you, and it's not a good one.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Nope.
Hey, no, hold on. Wait, earlier in the show, weren't we just saying we shouldn't be judging people based on,
No, use the first sentence out of your mouth. Go back and watch the first year. We're going to judge people today.
we're
So
allowed.
I'm
We're
judging
allowed to judge.
everyone.
Okay, fine. Do as I say, not as I live stream.
I don't care if you do what I do. You're going to get in trouble. Watch my ass.
All right.
If
So
you do the same thing that I do and get in the same trouble that I get into, that's your own damn fault.
we
You watch me.
we've talked before a number of times about chat GPT and these AI kind of like frameworks or whatever, and they have like political leanings, right? They have a biased political leanings. We've seen this before where they're like left, super left, whatever. So a company has come out and they have started a new chat bot called GAT GPT. It's by the same company that does these 3D printed firearms, stuff like that. So the whole thing is like, well, look, we're just going to weaponize AI and we're going to weaponize it to be leaning to the right and in favor of the Second Amendment and in favor of guns. So they don't even have the pretense of trying to build a large language model that's supposed to be like balanced or even. No, we're just going to make one that's totally our side. So
cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna get conflicting AI, and then it becomes who has market dominance. That's a different thing. Okay.
Well, Chat GPT right now has market dominance.
Of course.
It makes a shit ton of money every month.
All right.
That's why Google is what Google is today. It grabbed that market dominance
first
right
in,
off
best
the
dressed.
bat.
That's right.
That's right. It grabbed. If Yahoo would have shut the hell up and not done everything that Yahoo done, we would be talking about Yahoo today instead of Google. But
Right.
Yahoo decided to delve into news and everything else, and Google grabbed what Yahoo was abandoning.
Yep.
And that's a fact. We watched that happen in real time.
Yeah.
We would be
it
talking
used to be
about
the biggest
Yahoo
thing, dude. It was
Yep.
like that's
if
where
Yahoo would not have went to news and started delving in every fucking thing else that it delved in.
Yeah.
When it got out of strictly being a search engine, Google was like, we need to snag this up right now.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened.
25, 30 years.
25 years. Yep. Google used to be huge.
Let's talk about. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, and
Yahoo, I mean.
and it hit the news. Let's talk about Russell Brand again.
Yeah, right.
All right. So Russell Brand is now. It has been accused of sexual improprieties with some, I think, by 4 women, one of which was 16 at the time, although none of the stories will tell you how old Russell Brand was. YouTube has now, by the way, remember, we live in America, right? In America, you're innocent until proven guilty, or until you were just randomly accused by anonymous people. If you're randomly accused by anonymous people, you are not innocent. You're guilty until proven innocent. That's the way it actually works. YouTube has now suspended Russell Brand from advertising income. Russell Brand, the popular, film and movie icon, and now super popular podcaster and YouTuber. I think he has 6.5 million subscribers. YouTube has suspended Russell Brand's channels from making money and advertisements for violating its creator responsibility policy. The video platform said it was taking action to protect its users. BBC said it was removing its programming featuring the comedian and actor from its streaming services. And all this comes after he was accused of rape and sexual assaults between 2006 and 2013. He denies the claim, saying their relationships were always consensual. Earlier Tuesday, a YouTube spokesperson says, if a creator's off-platform behavior harms our users, employees, or ecosystem, we take action. So, YouTube.
Okay, JJ.
Mm-mm.
Since we're judging people today,
Yeah.
I'm going to say something.
All right.
I am taking full responsibility for this. JJ does not know what I'm going to say.
It's true.
And he probably does
pretty
not
worried
agree
right
with
now.
Yeah, I am getting him worried. Women, we're starting not to believe you anymore. It started with Christine Blasey Ford and Brett Kavanaugh, and it has only gotten worse since then. So I'm going to say what we're all thinking, and everyone else is afraid to say. We're starting to not believe the shit that's coming out of your mouth just because you say it.
What?
And there is a classic story that you need to read, that because you grew up in a shitty house with a shitty family and did not have loving parents that told you bedtime stories every night, you probably have never heard of the story about the little boy that cried wolf. But we all know about the little boy that cried wolf. And the moral of that story is that if you keep crying wolf when the wolf is not really there, no one is going to believe you when the wolf is really there. And we've gotten to the point to where you've cried wolf so many times, and you have accused people so many times and ruined people's lives so many times.
There's no cost.
There is no cost to you. You didn't even remember Christine Blasey Ford's name until I said it a minute ago.
It's true.
I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Brett Kavanaugh accuser, because I didn't remember her name.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has no repercussions, but he did.
Yeah. He very nearly
We're
lost.
starting to not believe you.
I mean, starting. Look, we all know
And
that
it's sad.
First of all, there's a lot of people that are. I mean, like,
absolutely
victims, really victims, and that's awful.
Victims.
And for shitbags to weaponize that, right? To weaponize other people's suffering and victimization in order to get money, get fame, get a payoff.
And you don't realize that it's the same fucking people that are accusing people like Russell Brand of doing that. It's these same people that gave money to Harvey Weinstein and people like him. You don't know this. These are usually the first person to chirp about it is guilty about the same thing too, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You accuse other people of what you're doing. That's the way you throw
what you're doing.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to play it because this video is 5 minutes or whatever, but there was this, and I don't want to play all of this. This is a, I don't know what GBN is, but this is like a TV show, news anchor show. Fireworks fly after this female anchor calls Russell Brand a hero and questions the timing and allegations of these reportings,
just like we did yesterday.
And she goes on here and she's like, no. Mainstream media is trying to damage this guy. There's no evidence. These women are anonymous. They can't. Their accusations cannot be checked. Right? When people are making these accusations and they won't tell you their name, then that means you can't follow up and be like, oh, you weren't actually there, or maybe you were actually there, or maybe you were there, but it wasn't. But the other people were there, and they could verify or not verify your story. So all we're left is with anonymous blanket accusations. And what is the public is supposed to do? Here's the accusation: Russell Brand sexually assaulted anonymous woman, and there can be no pushback on that. So you're left with just the story of, oh, Russell Brand must be a bad guy. It must be a bad guy. Can't check it. Can't check anything. So this female journalist is like, no, this is not right. Something's wrong here. And the man on the show, he goes like as left as can be, and he starts attacking her because she isn't attacking Russell Brand. So all of this stuff. Hey, Deke, there was one more person that's been alleged. I was wondering if you had any thoughts about this other one, the Tim Ballard thing.
I haven't even read the story, but it seems like everything comes in threes. And if they want to, 3 is a magic number. Yeah. All right. It's not just a song. 3 is a magic number. It's a very holy and spiritual number in a lot of different things. And some of this stuff comes in threes. And it seems like you got Lauren Boebert, you've got Russell Brand, and you've got Tim Ballard here. Yeah. And this I just come across today, and this morning, actually, I did not have a chance to even look at this one yet. But the Sound of Freedom movie's hero, Tim Ballard, is subject of sexual misconduct allegations involving 7 women. Tim Ballard, real-life founder and one-time CEO of Operation Underground Railroad, the subject of sexual misconduct allegations and related investigation involving 7 women, according to a story published by Vice. Well, that's where we stop that's where we stop reading, all right? Because in a story reported by Vice, well, that should tell you everything need to know about that story. End of story. We can go on.
This is particularly damaging because this is the guy that literally saved children from sexual exploitation, right? So to allege this guy who has I've seen his interviews.
Not like that movie. They were pissed off at Tim Ballard because he ruined Indiana Jones. He almost ruined Barbie. He ruined a lot of Hollywood movies.
Mm-hmm.
He ruined a lot of Hollywood movies.
He might have put a little pressure on the Hollywood pedophile rings too.
A lot of rich people in Hollywood that you don't know their names, and you will never know.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Richter asked if there is a penalty for false rape allegations.
There should be.
I don't know. I don't know that there is.
No, I think there was.
You can do a defamation lawsuit, but that's a civil matter, and in order for defamation, you have to prove that the person making the allegation knew they were lying and had done it with a malicious intent. It's very, very difficult to win a defamation suit, especially against a person who's not a public figure or who is a public figure. So Russell Brand is a public figure. So in order for Russell Brand to sue someone for defamation, it's like almost impossible. In fact, Johnny Depp famously won that defamation lawsuit, but it was against all odds.
Yes, there is. It's false rape accusations, making false rape accusations, wasting police's time. You can be sent to prison. You could face fines up to 6 months in prison with or without a fine. That's just for wasting police time. So I'm sure there's probably more for making a false rape accusation. Yeah. I got one more story here for you, JJ. You're going to like this. All right. We're going to end on a funny story today. So you like art, you like to go to the museum and see beautiful pieces and works of art. Love art. All kinds of beautiful colors and splashes of imagination everywhere. Well, this Danish artist recently submitted empty frames as artwork. All right. So this guy took out 532,000 krones that was lent to him by the museum. Krones are the money over there, and it's about 61,500 pounds.
Okay. That's a good
So
amount of money.
right, it's a large amount of money, and they loaned it to him so that he could create this piece of artwork. All right, that he was going to use with the money. When the staff unpacked the newly delivered works of art, they found 2 empty frames with the title "Take the Money and Run." The museum put the new artworks on display, but when the artist declined to return the money, it took legal action. So on Monday, a court in Copenhagen ordered the artist to repay the money that was loaned to him, but said he should still be paid his fee. So he still wants to be paid a fee, but he kept all this damn money. Yeah, and it's funny.
Look at this quote down here. The work is that I have taken their money. It's not theft. It's breach of contract, and breach of contract is part of the work.
He added, I encourage other people who have working conditions as miserable as mine to do the same. If they're sitting in some shitty job and not getting paid and are actually being asked to pay money to go to work, then grab what you can and beat it.
Amazing. This guy's a hero. Thank you, sir, for that. Okay. Wow.
All right.
Just took their money. And he wrote it on there like, I'm doing this. I'm taking your cash. All right, Deacon, it's joke time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already, please hit like, subscribe. Links below the video to get into our Discord server, or there's a barcode you can bleep right there. Just take one phone, aim it at another phone, and bleep that barcode.
Everyone has 2 phones. Yes.
Yeah. What time is it when people are throwing a piece of stale bread at you? Okay.
No, I don't know.
It's time to duck.
Oh.
No? That's not good. That's fair. That's fair.
You want to? Okay, I was gonna do this one, but since you have a terrible one, I'm going to give you an equally as bad terrible one. What do you call a man with a carrot in his left ear and a banana in his right ear?
Oh, I don't know.
You can call him anything you want. He can't hear you.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back with this amazing entertainment tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Bye, everybody.